between Germany and its allies and the Soviet Union for the Soviet city of Stalingrad took place between August 21st, 1942 and February 2nd, 1943, during the Second World War. On June 22nd, 1941, Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa. Germany and its allies invaded the Soviet Union, quickly advancing deep into the Soviet territory. Part of the German military philosophy was to attack where least expected so that rapid gains could be made. The capture of Stalingrad was important to Hitler for primarily two reasons. First, it was a major industrial city on the Volga River, a vital transport route between the Caspian Sea and northern Russia. Secondly, its capture would secure the left flank of the German armies.
After the first bombardment, the city was quickly turned to rubble. Although some factories survived and continued production whilst workers joined in the fighting. Stalin prevented civilians from leaving the city on the premises that their presence would encourage greater resistance from the city's defense. Civilians, including women and children, were put to work building trench works and protective fortifications. A massive German air bombardment on August 23rd caused a firestorm, killing thousands and turning Stalingrad into a vast landscape of rubble and burnt ruins. 90% of the living space was destroyed.
Hitler used tanks, infantry, engineers, artillery, and ground attack aircraft. To counter this, Soviet commanders adopted the simple expedient of always keeping the front lines as close together as physically possible. Chuikov called this tactic hugging the Germans. This forced the German infantry to either fight on their own or risk taking casualties from their own supporting fire. It neutralized German close air support and weakened artillery support. Fighting raged for every street, every factory, every house, basement, and staircase.
With no end in sight, the Germans started transferring heavy artillery to the city, including the gigantic 800mm railroad gun nicknamed Dora. The Germans made no effort to send a force across the Volga, allowing the Soviets to build up a large number of artillery batteries there. Soviet artillery on the eastern bank continued to bombard the German positions. The Soviet defenders used the resulting ruins as defensive positions. German tanks became useless amid heads of rubble up to 8 millimeters high. Soviet snipers also successfully used the ruins to inflict heavy casualties on the Germans. For Boris Stalin and Hitler, the Battle of Stalingrad became a prestige issue in addition to the actual strategic significance of the battle.
3 months of carnage and slow and costly advance, the Germans finally reached the river banks, capturing 90% of the ruined city and splitting the remaining Soviet force into two narrow pockets. While Soviet soldiers defended their positions and took the Germans under fire, factory workers repaired damaged Soviet tanks and other weapons close to the battlefield, sometimes on the battlefield itself. In Operation Uranus, Soviets surrounded the remaining German troops, cutting off reinforcement and supply.
The Germans had attempted to break through the blockade. However, Russian artillery pushed them back, which resulted in 300 out of 330,000 German soldiers, only 90,000 being left alive. Ultimately, the war had 1 million Russian casualties, but the Germans were now on the defensive, and this battle became a turning point in the war.
Yeah, please. Ultra kill. Another Russian winter set in. Wow. Using this advantage, Russian troops around the city counterattacked. They trapped the Germans within the city and cut off their supplies. German soldiers begged for Hitler to surrender, but he refused.
Better be fucking getting an A on this project.
Shouldn't you be filming us first?